Hello everybody, how are you? David Franco here from davidfranco.com. You see what I just did there? Yeah, me too. Today's video is a tech opinion, if you want to call it that. Technology, social network, they're kind of the same thing nowadays, right? And well, I just want to talk about Ello, which is apparently the latest and hottest craze in micro-social networks. In other words, why? It's pointless. I mean, at least in my opinion, and I'm going to explain why I feel that way in just a few moments. But first, for the uninformed, let me explain what Ello is. I will say right off the bat, Ello is a pretty cool name. Ello makes me think I'm Australian, mate. Okay, so according to ello.co, that's their domain, Ello is a simple, beautiful, and ad-free social network created by a small group of artists and designers. We originally built Ello as a private social network. Over time, so many people wanted to join Ello that we built a public version of Ello for everyone to use. Seems legit. So my question to you guys, and keep in mind, I have used Ello. I've been on Ello for a couple weeks now, ever since my Google Plus Hangouts. Thanks to Joey Image. I believe Joey Image is the one who invited me, so thank you, Joey. So keep in mind that I have used it. I'm not just talking blindly here. I'm not ranting for nothing. I have had experience with the platform. So my question to all the Ello users, including myself, what is the point of using Ello in the first place? Why does it exist? Allow me to rant. Now, in my opinion, this is the chance of a small minority of people to seclude themselves from society and form their new community. I quote community because it's not going to be a community in just a month or two. Mark my words. Because you know what? Before you know it, Ello's community is going to get bored and they're going to come crawling back to social networks that people actually use on a daily basis, like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and even some Google+. I kind of say that loosely because Google Plus has admittedly gotten better over the years. I mean, I don't use it, I rarely visit it, but it's definitely gotten better, especially if you consider this. Google Plus has a lot more potential than Ello ever will. Bold words, but hey, I'm a bold kind of person. Seriously though, Google Plus, Ello. Which one are you gonna choose? So speaking of other social networks, are Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram really all that bad? I mean, Ello is here bragging about it being an ad-free social network, but you gotta ask yourself, for how long will Ello actually be ad-free? Now yes, I realize business plans can change over time. That's just the way the world works. These companies need to make money, so I don't blame them. But why make it such a big deal right now if it's not gonna be a big deal a year or two from now? So that brings me to my next point. Are ads on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram really that intrusive? I mean, I see them, but they honestly don't bother me. Facebook ads are always there in the right column and sometimes in my news feed, but in my opinion, they kind of blend in nicely. And the same goes for Twitter with the promoted tweets, I think they call them. And now Instagram has very subtle use of advertising in the endless feed of images. And I think they blend in quite nicely. They don't look like ads, and that is how you should do advertising. Make advertising feel like a form of marketing, and your users won't be displeased. So again, I say, is advertising on the social networks that we're already using really that bad? I mean, are people really that annoyed by ads on Twitter that they just need to go over to a new social network like Ello? I just think it's kind of funny that people think they're going to form these new communities, whereas networks like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram work just fine. I honestly think people are going through a phase. I mean, the same thing is happening with Path. If you ask me, nobody talks about Path. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is Path? Exactly. Now, I never used Path. I don't believe I ever got an invite. But as far as I can tell, it seems to be slowly dying as the months progress. Nobody talks about it. Nobody uses it. So why is it still around? And the same thing goes for app.net. About a year or two ago, everybody was freaking out. David, you gotta get on app.net. App.net is the future. This is killing Twitter. But I kept telling myself, no, I'm not gonna join app.net because it's pointless. It's not gonna matter a year or two from now. And you know what? I was right because Twitter works just fine the way it is. And the same goes for Facebook, Instagram, and Google+. We don't need new networks like Ello. Just let the big guys play and dominate. I mean, I will say I give props to these smaller companies and the smaller brands looking to form these new social networks, but you gotta be realistic here. You're not going to win. Okay, I will say this real quick. I'm not trying to offend anyone, so let me just make this clear. If you enjoy Path, that's great. If you enjoy app.net, that's great. And if you enjoy Ello, which I doubt you do, then that's great. Use the social network. Just don't get too used to it being around. And finally, my last point that I want to make in this video, I keep looking over there because a crap load of birds just came down. It's a Twitter fest. Must be a sign or something. If Google cannot create a social network, and Google is one of the world's largest and most successful companies in the world, if they cannot create a social network that people want to use, what makes you think that other smaller networks like Ello can actually survive? If Google can't do it, surely no one else can, because the world already has several social networks that work very well. Again, I'm going to repeat myself. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Those 3 networks are what people need. Now, you can argue again that Google Plus is usable from a certain perspective for, specific individuals. But again, I say, if Google Plus can't dominate, what makes you think Ello can? I don't mean to repeat myself, but that's just my point. Ello is pointless. Path. Maybe it has a point to some people, but it's not going to be around for that much longer. App.net, I think the idea of app.net has actually changed since it's launched, so I give them props for optimizing and adapting. That's the word I'm trying to think of. Adapting to change. And finally, wrapping up this rant, I just want to make something very, very clear. I'm not dissing new ideas. I love new ideas. I embrace the thought of change and trying new things. But when new micro-social networks like Ello come around, I'm sorry, I just can't take them seriously. The social network scene is crowded as it is, so stop trying to create something new. Users like myself are happy with what we have. And with that said, I will end my rant. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Have you used Ello? Do you ever see yourself using Ello? Or is your opinion pretty much the same as mine and you think Ello is pointless and, well, there's no need for it? Alright, I'm done. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Your support is much appreciated. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace. Hear all that chirping? You hear that.